Went on the Mexico trip, my third trip. Absolutely learned something new every time. And this time, the first thing I would say that I came back with was, I have probably overhyped it as a home build ministry, because that is such a little tiny piece of the pie.
You're not just building this house. You really are, you are put into this community to be part of this community for a week. And there's a lot that you can go and see, and there's a lot that you can do, and your level of involvement is completely up to you. And I don't want to downplay the house build, but I would say that was probably the least impactful part for me. The community was much more. So understanding that you can get out of this trip really whatever you want.
I needed to see how the people lived down there. I needed to see what it was like to actually deliver a finished house to a couple who was living in a trailer where you could see the dirt through the floors. So I know we were able to just touch so many lives by spending all the time with the kids and delivering the house.
So on our last trip to Mexico, we had the opportunity to visit Dorothy's, which is a Canadian lady that moved down to Mexico and runs a women's shelter for abused women, because the state does not have any resources for women that are victims of sexual abuse and trafficking. She brings these women in, teaches them basic life skills and education. We are so inspired by the work that she does. She's been living in an RV with holes in the floor, and we, through the gracious donations of Hope and others, able to build her and her husband Eduardo a house.
Sharing time with those kids in the migrant camp, sharing time with Luis and his family with those kids tutoring after school. Again, we always get to do a service in Luis's church, so great piece there was realizing I can't, understand more than 5 words in Spanish, but we were worshiping together. They were singing in Spanish, and yet it was songs we knew. You were hearing them in Spanish, but the worship was awesome.
I had a lot of fun going to Mexico, playing with all the kids and the babies at Dorothy's. They were all happy, even though they were in really bad situations, that they were able to be happy and have fun.
To go out into the community and give out food, go through the migrant camp and see the conditions that the people and the children that are living in, that really touched my heart as a mom.
One of the really cool things is there's no boundaries on what you can do and not do. And I just don't think anybody should be afraid. There's a job for everybody.
As much as it's us going to share with those people that don't have what we have here in this country, I really believe, there was a church down there with us in the same camp from San Jose, Milpitas. They had 50 people with them. We don't want to overwhelm the place, but we go down as 7 or 8. It would be great to see 50 people from this church experience it and see the bonds that could be built in those 50 people coming back to this church. Yes, we're going there to be missionaries, but we also come back here and we've interlocked the people in our church more, because you've come to know that team that you're with.
My one word for the trip would be life-changing. So anybody out there that's watching this, I would just say, hey, look, if you want that life-changing experience and God's calling you to do that, and you'll know that He is, just like Jamie and I felt the call. Don't think about your age, don't think about your talents, just think about what you're being asked to do.